It started with a scream that woke the entire neighborhood. Neighbors said they heard a girl crying for help at exactly 3:07 in the morning, then silence. When they knocked on her door, she opened it shaking, pale, drenched in sweat. It happened again, she whispered. The same dream. And this time, I saw who dies next. That girl was Leila Marino, a 25-year-old artist from Seattle who hadn't slept peacefully in months. But what she didn't know was that her dream wasn't just a nightmare, it was a countdown. Leila had always been a vivid dreamer. But 6 months ago, she started having nightmares, not random, but specific. In each one, someone close to her died. And days later, it happened exactly like she dreamed. The first was her college friend, Harper. In her dream, Harper fell from a staircase during a photo shoot. 3 days later, Harper died in an abandoned factory after the floor collapsed. Then it was her neighbor, strangled in his sleep. That same week, he was found dead in his apartment with no signs of struggle. The police called it cardiac arrest. Leila didn't. Her therapist said it was survivor's guilt, maybe a delusion. But then the dreams began showing her own death. The first time she saw it, she was standing in front of a mirror in her art studio. The clock read 3:07. The lights flickered. Then behind her reflection, a dark silhouette appeared tall, faceless, wearing something that looked like a shadow made solid. It placed its hand on her shoulder and whispered her name. Leila! Then everything went black. When she woke up that first night, she thought it was just sleep paralysis. But then, each night after, the dream continued from where it left off, like an unfinished movie. In the second dream, she was dragged toward her bedroom window, which suddenly reflected a scene she'd never seen before. A red car, headlights, and the sound of screeching tires. She screamed and woke up with scratches on her arm. Terrified, Leila installed cameras in every corner of her apartment, including the studio. She wanted proof. That night, she recorded herself sleeping. At exactly 3:07, the footage showed her sitting up suddenly, eyes open, whispering something. When she checked the recording, she could barely breathe. She was whispering coordinates. 37, 199, north, 122, 625, west. A location outside a small coastal town 2 hours away. Driven by fear and curiosity, Leila decided to go there. The next day, she followed the coordinates to an abandoned house near the cliffs, the kind of place time forgot. The paint peeled, windows shattered, sea wind howling through the gaps. Inside, she found a single painting nailed to the wall, her own face, eyes wide, mouth open, screaming. Signed at the bottom were the words, "You painted this." After that, the dreams got worse. Every time she closed her eyes, she relived her death, but the details grew sharper. Now she could hear the sound of the red car again, smell the rain, feel the cold hand on her shoulder. And then one night, the dream changed. The shadow wasn't behind her anymore. It was sitting in her living room, watching her sleep. She woke up, not from fear, but from a sound. Her front door creaked open. The clock blinked 3:07. Her cameras were still rolling. The footage showed the door open slowly by itself, and something not visible, but heavy moving through her apartment. The next morning, she went to her friend Daniel's house and begged him to stay the night. He agreed, half-jokingly saying they could confront her nightmare together. That night, she set up her camera again. The clock hit 3:07. The lights flickered. Leila started mumbling in her sleep. Daniel tried to wake her up, but her eyes were already open. She was staring past him, whispering, "It's here." Then the camera shook violently, static filled the frame. Daniel's scream echoed once. When police arrived the next morning, the apartment door was locked from the inside. Daniel was found unconscious but alive. Leela was gone. The footage from that night was confiscated, but leaked online weeks later. It showed Daniel falling to the floor, lights flickering, and for half a second, Leela standing perfectly still in the doorway, her eyes black, her reflection in the mirror smiling when she wasn't. No trace of her body was ever found. But a month later, Daniel received a package. Inside was a painting. It was Leela, standing next to him, both of them painted under a red sky. And at the corner of the canvas, written in small black letters, "You dream next." That night, Daniel dreamt of standing in front of a mirror, watching the reflection move before he did. The clock behind him blinked 3:07. He woke up screaming. And outside his apartment window, in the reflection, someone was watching.